What is up, guys? I am here with Anthony, KTM, made top 16 with the only player in top 16 playing ramp. So why did you play this deck?
I played this deck because I thought it was fun. It actually is a good matchup against everything in the meta. Red is a little temperamental, but I think our side cards help for that a lot. So I went with the Porunga leader over Shenron because his final wish is just much better. Shenron's final wish means that you already have to have an established board, while this helps you get there. And I used this at least 3 times to just like win games. And I know it doesn't sound like much, but you're not using your final wish in this deck all that much anyway. Like, that's just not the win con of the deck. So yeah, got the Porunga leader. So to start with the Dragon Balls, I played 6 normal balls and a Super Ball. I didn't like 1 star because that meant you had to tap out during your turn 1. If you're going first, that's not so bad. If you're going second, on 2 energy, your opponent can do so much with 2 energy. It's ridiculous to just give up your turn.
Especially red.
Yeah. And you might be thinking, well, you play this on 2 and then you tap out then. Well, by that point, I can have a Zeno button, I can dig for a Zeno button, and usually I don't play this till 3. So I'll Objection on turn 2, and then on turn 3, on my turn 3 when I go to 4, I tap out 2, play this, then I can Awaken Shenron, untap my energy, so I have 4 up, so I can do things.
Players in the draft extravaganza, we have your round 2 pairings.
Then 2 Zeno button. Tried to set 3. 3 was too many. We kept seeing it, so we put this down to 2. 2 was very solid. Just untap all your blues. 4 Senzu Beans. It's your defense against red. It can also help you do some shenanigans. I didn't use it so much for shenanigans, mostly for defense and to essentially get free 110k combos.
Charge as well.
Oh yeah, and it's more blue to charge. Only 2 radar. I think 2 radars are standard for this deck. I don't side a third. I don't understand the point of siding a third. If you're going to side a third, you might as well main it. So, like, what do you bring in against?
Yep.
And you only have 4 desires to really bring back, and they're all late game stuff. We played 6 negates.
Yes.
So red was a problem, and a bigger thing was the apes. I didn't like the fact that you could just let the apes combo into play, so I thought I'd play 6 negates. We also played black targets for this main deck, which I'll show later. So this was really solid all weekend, and it caught a lot of people off guard. I got Gogeta'd once, and pretty much when the game was over, like, I realized I had 6 negates still in deck, and obviously a true one saved me. Then 4 Objection. A lot of people misplayed this. Like, a lot of the mirrors I played misplayed this over the weekend. Game 2, you never want to use this card until you're about to win. Game 1, charge, do all your stuff, it's great. Game 2, everyone's siding in the ramp hate, like the force ejections, the dendays. So I literally this was just charge game 2 and 3. I'd never side them out though, or if I would, I'd side out like 1 copy, and I need more EP freeze.
Then to have
4 World Peace. It's World Peace. You need to play 4. It's how your deck does stuff. Simple as. Again, 4 super combos, self-explanatory. This is the black card we chose to main deck. So out of all the black targets, there was Dark Power Marsan, which meant you tapped out to play it against red, and then they just kind of powered through it and you lost because you tapped out. You could play Commie, but everyone plays around Commie once they see it. And even if they don't see it, like, it just sucks. Like, main and decking this against the mirror is an insta-win. Against one of my opponents, he ramped on 3, passed to me going first. So I charged to 3, and then did this, killed one of his guys. Not one of his guys, sorry, one of his energy. And from there, I just kept looping this back. And I never ramped, so he couldn't do anything to me. And in game 2, he ramped again, and then I just did this to him again. It's great, and at worst, it's a cantrip. And because you do play the power bursts in your main deck, you can just use this to get a 5k combo from your discard pile.
Or just add it back and use it.
Yeah.
Right?
Then for the Shenrons, for the Dragons, I chose 1 Porunga and 2 Shenron. I think this is pretty standard. Porunga's really good. I actually used all 3 of his abilities this weekend as well. So the draw 2 is great. I used the reset board a lot, and there was one game where I used this to pump up my my Gogeta. And one thing I found out about this is it actually carries the boost for your opponent's turn. So my opponent tried to kill Gogeta, and I was like, oh no, like, I left the dice on there for a reason. It's still up by 10k. My opponent's like, oh, I just can't get over that now. So this was great. And then Shenron, give yourself critical, draw cards, resurrect cards. I use this to resurrect a card in my side deck a lot, which I'll show later, but it actually won me one of my games against red. And then for all my world peace targets, 2 East. I think 3's too many. You never want to see it. Playing 3 is just saying that one's going to be a charge, and I don't like that. 2 Vegeta. If I had space to up this to 3, I would, but unfortunately there is no space. 2 Trunks. This card I hated before this weekend. After this weekend, I don't think I'd take this card out of the deck again. There were so many times on 6 I'd be like, hardcast this, charge another one, make a big play, or world peace this back, use another world peace. Like, it was great. So get rid of those ones. Oh, it's also a 30k double striker as well.
Yep.
MVP of the week, second MVP of the weekend, King Vegeta. We chose to main this. This card's insane. He's got 25k power, which is really hard for anyone to beat over. So the Broly decks would tap this down and then spend half an hour trying to get over him, and they just can't. He negates all skills, and more importantly, if you play Victory Strike, this is on the FAQ, by the way. If you play Victory Strike while this is on board, Victory Strike keeps all of his skills and abilities. So all of their stuff lose their abilities. They can't play counterplays to tap out your Victory Strike because they'll get negated. They can't use their blockers, and then your Victory Strike just lethals them. And obviously your Victory Strike can't be negated. And then for the last boss monsters, obviously Victory Strike, it's Victory Strike. If I didn't have access to Victory Strike, I probably would have played Oob, but this is just much better. Won me loads and loads of games. Gogeta's broken, wouldn't play more than 2, wouldn't play 1, because sometimes you just want to charge this as a blue. And Kaioken's brilliant. Like, this card should have said ultimate. I know everyone says that, but it's insane. Going on to the side, get to start with my super secret tech for the weekend.
MVP.
This is the MVP of this weekend. It did some toxic stuff. So for anyone who doesn't know what this does, it's from the new draft box, Uneasy Line Son Goku. It's got counter attack for 2 blue. Negate an attack, play this card. When you play this card, you choose a 3 or less and bounce it back to their hand. So, just some plays that I did this weekend. My opponent, Familial Bonds into Digging Deep, attacked me with their Baby Leader, and negated Baby Leader and bounced their Digging Deep back to hand. And they were just like, oh, okay. Using this against Pan to bounce his stuff back. Other things you can do with this is you can use Shenron to resurrect this because it costs 2, and just use it as Shenron, draw a card, spawn a 15k body, bounce a card, which is insane. I use this against my Kid Ku matchup that I lost to in top 16. This just kept the 30k bodies off the board. It's great all weekend. It's actually MVP.
Did you main it?
I wouldn't main it. The only reason I wouldn't main it is because against certain matchups it can be completely dead, and I don't like playing cards that can be dead against certain matchups. Only 1 Striving. So the reason I only played 1 Striving is because I couldn't find another Striving in time for the event.
Was that actually the reason?
Yeah.
Because I left 2 striving in my side, and this worked out really well for you.
So this was actually brilliant. So I drew this like every single time I needed Striving. I either drew Striving or drew this, and this turns into a Striving. But it also does it without blue. So there's one situation where I actually didn't have any blue up. And on turn 2 I needed to play a Striving, and I used this to get this, which was my favorite play. But you can also use this to get this and bounce one of their dudes, and then you just have a 15k body. I only did that once. Other than that, you can use this to tutor out any of your random guys in deck. It's also a desire, so if you use this early and then awaken or wish with your leader, you can also add it back. 2 Weskai is against the Zap Apes, or the Red Yellow Apes against U6, against anything really. It bounces something back. It's also like a 15k pseudo combo. Like
kind
it
of,
is,
yeah.
that is exactly, yeah.
Then,
You bounce a 10k, it's 5. This is the 3rd MVP of the deck. I know there's 3 MVPs, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. This is bronze. The reason this is bronze is, so before the event, I was reading through a lot of cards just to see what cards had weird interactions. And I read this card and realized that this stops all of the counterplay guys. So the Gohan, the Vegeta, this stops all of them. So they go to play them, they tap 2, they attempt to play them, you desperate measures, and it just returns to their hand. So this is essentially a negate. So like, someone tries to champ the Trickster, Yogo Cheetah, you use this, stops it. This also stops Topper. And yeah, it also stops Topper, which is insane, and if someone does it, it could also stop this as well. But yeah, it still negates the attack, but it stops them being played for their autos to go off. Then you got Dark Power Black Marsan. Dark Power Black Marsan is great. I actually didn't put this in that as much as I thought I would. I played it against the red deck, and both of the one of the red decks I played was Baby, and one of them was Pan. The Pan one was like alright. The Baby one, you just killed this.
I think it's better, especially against Pan, definitely.
I more played it against.
Rely on bonds a lot more.
Yeah, I more played it against Baby because I wanted to see if I could get 2 of them out, but I sided it out after that. This is terrible against the Mirror, against the Shenron matchup. I don't understand why people side this in against me, because the only target that this affects is Whis. Well, the only target I want to resurrect that this affects Whis, and Shenron bringing back random dudes. It's not that great. I'd probably take this out, to be fair. 2 Commie. This card's terrible. Everyone always plays around it. Like, you need it in your deck to put fear in your opponent, but it's like unexpected turn. You should just always be playing around this card, so you shouldn't really ever hit anyone with it. Even though I did side it in against a couple people and maybe only used it once to actually wipe the board. Toki. So this is a 3rd copy of Dende, 3rd copy of Commie. That's pretty much all it did all weekend. And Remote Serious Bomb. This card was amazing. You use this to get rid of babies, you use this to get rid of big boys. It just removes them. It's great. One funny interaction I had was, if I can find the card. So, Indestructible's worded that the card can never leave the board. So, I had King Vegeta out, and my opponent had 2 Indestructibles, and I played Remote Serious Bomb, and he was like, oh, it doesn't affect anything. I said, no, you have to warp something, because obviously this is negating Indestructible. Got rid of one of his big boys, drew through a couple more cards, next turn got this and played another one, and just got rid of that. Like, I just like this card's MVP, like, let's just be fair. But yeah, that was pretty much it. It was, most of my matchups were against, I played a lot of Broly decks, Broly U6, Broly Apes, Red Yellow Apes. My 2 losses were to Red Yellow Apes and Broly U6, which was one of my teammates that I barely lost to. And Kid Q and Top Cut.
He's playing top 8 now.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the list, guys.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
And we'll
KTM for the win.
Yeah.